Perfect. Welcome to the show, man.
Okay. Hi.
This is the fucking podcast.
Get right on. Okay.
Yeah. I just treat it like it's like it lets it hang, so there's not any pressure other than the one word thing that I do with all my guests of asking them what the one word is. But
Right. Yeah.
sometimes we even just get into so much conversation that it's like I've missed the one word entirely. So it kind of it's this rule that comes in and out. But I like to ask people. Like, you said trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trash?
Right.
Why did you say trash?
Well, like I don't know. I mean, like I've been thinking about it since, and I didn't mean trash. Maybe like trash should be the wrong word for it. Maybe more like bullshit. Like I mean,
Okay.
just like
Great.
like lacking in stakes or consequences. Easy breezy kind of stuff. Yeah. Bullshit. Right.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, but like, yeah, I guess, like trash, yeah, trash works for that too, though. Just some I mean, this sort of thing that the sort of thing that you can do in life or on the stage, that's just a dumb, easy sort of like set up punchy kind of thing, like
Yeah.
yeah. Like I mean, where it isn't charged anyway, and you're not trying to say anything with it, that kind of thing. Trash. Yeah,
Right. Low
yeah.
hanging fruit.
Sure, you could say that
Yeah,
too, I
yeah.
guess. I mean, yeah. Or just free of context stuff. That's like super digestible. I mean, like it's the kind of thing that it's the kind of thing that I like to take in, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
why I was thinking trash. But I guess, yeah, like I think bullshit might be the better word for it because I mean, like trash isn't necessarily like, I mean, well, bullshit isn't necessarily bad, right? Like, I mean, it's like, I mean, I mean, there, there's a lot of like, I mean, there's a lot of like easily taken in kind of bullshit out there that I really enjoy that I wouldn't necessarily say is bad. Like, I mean, there are some trash mics that you can open mics that you can find yourself on
Sure.
that aren't like necessarily bad, but they are bullshit. I
But
mean, yeah,
bullshit's not a bad thing, like you're saying. Like sometimes if something is bullshit and you treat it like it's bullshit, you can actually have a fun time.
oh yeah. No,
Sometimes
and
I have the
that's that.
most fun when I'm like, it's all bullshit. None of this
Yeah,
matters.
right. And, yeah, sure, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's not like anybody's trying to say anything with what they've been
Yeah.
doing for the last 6 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can take in that entire show, and no one was trying to offend or
No.
or enlighten. I mean, on both sides of that spectrum, nothing was
Right.
happening. Like, no
Right.
danger either way, right? Yeah,
So that you're saying,
yeah,
like, I agree with you too. Like you can see the two spectrums of bullshit in comedy. You have the spectrum of bullshit where somebody doesn't give a shit about the situation or the trashiness of the mic. They're just gonna have the most fun. And then on the bad side of bullshit, the way that bullshit would be bad is the people that are taking it like I don't know, seriously, but aren't
yeah.
saying anything. And
No, I guess there's that too.
they're
Yeah.
giving you bullshit. You know what I mean? Of
Uh-huh.
like two spectrums like of good and bad, I would say, of that same word, just at an open mic you could describe that.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. So, you had a Yucks last night, right?
No, it was an absolute, yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right, you're right.
No, that's good.
Okay,
I have Yucks this weekend, so I just wanted to run
okay.
through the set and make sure it was tight because
Oh, nice. That's smart. Yeah.
yeah.
How long
I
were you
was
up there for?
I think it did 8 minutes.
Okay,
Well, it was
and
like,
that's what. Yeah,
and that's going to be basically my set Friday, Saturday, Sundays, 8 to 10. So,
yeah. All
which
right.
I like. I love those sets because you feel so much more relaxed when you're doing like 5 and 6 so much. You get a ten
Yeah.
minute set and you're like, I can stretch.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I
That's
feel
how you
like
feel
that.
about it?
I don't know. I
Oh,
feel
well, that's
like that way.
cool.
I feel
Nice,
like
dude.
because my thing is I always want to cram so much into that time period
Uh
that when I
huh.
have 5 minutes, I'm like man, it's not really enough to talk about all these things, but all these things sort of go together, and you kind of feel like you have to kill your babies, where you have to just like, I have to just pick, like, I'm just gonna talk about
Oh yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
because I only
Do
have
you
that
ever have
amount of
like do
time.
you ever have like a longer kind of bit, like say a bit that would normally take you like maybe, I don't know, over a minute to do, and then like chop things here and there, get just right down to the jokes and condense it down to like half of that?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I had
Yeah, yeah,
one
yeah.
bit. I had one bit that was literally like a minute and a half long. And
Uh-huh.
when I looked at it seriously, I was like, oh, this is all just like there's this exercise that I do that Todd Van Allen taught me, and it's like it's so great. You record the set and then you type out every word, even every rights, every all those like little ticks that people have. You type that all
Sure.
out. So then you can visualize it too and go, wow, I say that a lot, you know? I say like a lot or whatever it is. And but what you do is every time you get a big laugh, you hit the enter button as you're typing so that it cuts down to a new line. So then you can see a visual representation of too much fat. And what I
Oh yeah.
saw was like a minute of talking and then a line. And I was like, that's too long to get to that joke. We've got to lose like all of
Sure,
this.
yeah.
And then
Right,
you go,
yeah.
and then part of you goes, I could actually just say like da 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 da, and then the punchline. And it's like I
Uh-huh.
don't. I'm adding all of this extra like fluff because I think it's funny, but it's not.
Sure, yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
Because you
Or
want to
like it
sometimes you
does.
want to write just for the time, right? You're like, I'm trying to fill 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna write to fill 5 minutes. And
Right,
it's
yeah,
like no,
sure.
no, no. That's one thing that I love about your comedy is it feels like it's like rapid fire, but it feels like everything that's coming out of your mouth is like with intention.
Oh, okay.
And so
Oh, fuck, I'll
if you
take it.
take a beat, it's like I know that the next thing coming out of your mouth is gonna make me laugh. Like it feels like it's always, even if it doesn't land, like say if you're trying something new, you have the intention and conviction that like this is it.
Okay.
And I feel that in your performance, and that's what I love about it. Because like when your jokes really hit, it hits because you have this extra like matter of fact. I don't think you're one of those comics that like long diatribe. Let me tell you this like 5 minute story, and then at the end
No,
there's a big
no, no, no.
payoff. You know,
No, I think
you're
like
like,
I don't know
let's go.
if you found this, but it's like what open mics will beat out of you is like any delusions you might have of being an interesting person, you know? Like I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
you'll start in like I mean, it reminds me of something that you were just talking about with like you start in with a bit that's like a minute and a half. There's a bunch of filler in there that you didn't realize was filler. You thought it was like window dressing or whatever, you know, setting the
Sure, yeah.
stage. And like a little bit of personal flair that I guess maybe you might spice up an anecdote with if you were talking to people who liked you. But like, I mean, but like an open mic crowd doesn't give a shit about any of that. Like, I mean, just get down to the magic trick, dipshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
enough with the fucking, yeah. Like,
Enough with the fluff.
so yeah, like, I mean, an anecdote that has a story at the end. I feel like that might be the kind of thing that you can get away with if you are like an innately interesting person. But at the mics, I've just found that I'm
Sure.
not. So it's like, so it's yeah, it's always cut to the point, and also like, I mean, increase the volume as much as you can as you get to the end of the thing, and thrust your face out at people. Like I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
give them a
yeah.
lot to look at, right? And keep it
Yeah.
very, very digestible. You know, like I
Yeah.
mean, like we're doing as as close as much as you can possibly get it, like as distilled as you can get it down to just like as close to the punchline as you can get every single time, right? Like I mean, I think that's what yeah, that's what I picked up.
You know what I'll
That's what I
do?
picked up at like horse shit and mics where
Oh, yeah, yeah.
people start just by like this is the you're like even like especially like an ambush mic, for example,
Oh,
where it's like you walk in there and you're
I
like,
talk
oh,
about
we're
those
all
mics so
like we
much.
all have a fucking rendezvous with death. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
get up
You
there
say
and it's just
something
gotta be
interesting.
fucking joke, 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 joke. You know,
Right.
like really take try to get their attention as much as you can. And so I guess like and then you do enough of those, and that just kind of becomes, I guess, the thing that you're doing. But then again, like I have watched, I mean, other people who are interesting or like otherwise like really good at this, I think
Mm.
like that they'll be able to string a story together. I just find that I absolutely can't. Yeah.
No, I get
You
that
got
too.
you get a little bit like you get a little bit anecdoty though, right? Like, I mean, you'll find yourself kind of telling a story sometimes, won't
Oh
you?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Most of
okay.
my stuff feels like it's I would say most of my material is all based on like something that's happened to me or
Yeah, right.
something like related to an interaction with someone I know that then inspires my thought process about that thing. So right now
So you're
I'm
not
like,
necessarily just like it's not joke stacked on top of one another for 6 minutes. It's kind of more like, I
no.
mean, you do have a
I try
way, and
to
there is a narrative thread.
Yes, exactly. I try
Got
to
it.
tie
Yeah.
them. My thing is always about trying to tie the bits together. And
Mm.
I won't perform I won't even perform it at an open mic if I'm honest with you. I won't perform a bit unless I have at least the first draft of an ending to a joke that feels like an ending to a joke.
Got it.
Like it's like I have this story that I've been sitting on for 6 years about getting robbed in China. And it's like a
Oh, Jesus. All right, Johnny. Shit. Wow.
it's about an 8 to 10 minute like story.
Okay.
With like good jokes throughout it, but I don't know how to end it. So I haven't been able to do it anywhere because I don't have the confidence of like I know I'm gonna go out with like a good like the final
Sure.
that's
Yeah. Right.
wraps up the bit. I can't stand a bit that just kind of trails off and
Uh-huh.
then you just start talking about, the news you saw that week. Like that, oh, I hate that so much. A cliffhanger?
Uh-huh.
Nobody likes a
Yeah.
cliffhanger joke.
Again, it's interesting that you mentioned that. It's like this pivotal I imagine it was kind of a pivotal moment in your life, right? It's a huge story, and it's almost like you have to wait until you're good enough as a
Right.
comic to be able to pull it off. Am I right? Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
had this bit, like the bit that I have about sex insurance. I
Uh-huh.
thought that I and I told someone this too. I was like, yeah, the bit just kind of like came to me fully formed. I was literally just in the shower one day and I'm just thinking about bits and it just came to me fully formed. And I was like, holy shit, that's a start to finish like good joke.
Nice, man.
And then I was going through my like, because I have video footage all the way back to like 2014. So I'm like going through like old,
T.O., how long have you been doing stand-up?
I started in 2011. I did it
Okay.
a couple
Wow. All right.
times. I did it a
Uh-huh.
couple times, and then I was like, okay, well, that was fun. And then I was like, I'm gonna be a police officer. That's what I went to college for.
Oh, I
And then
see. Okay.
so I was like, I'm gonna be a cop, so I don't need to be doing stand up, whatever. And
Sure.
then a classmate that used to work for MTV was like, hey, they're doing like they're looking for a host for this show. They're like, do you still do comedy? Like she had an in to like a thing, and I was like, wow, that's a cool opportunity. So yeah, let me do that. So I did
Uh-huh.
stand up again in 2014. So that's like 3 years off from the first time I tried it.
Yeah,
Then
right.
I got hooked so hard on that first set back because I got bigger reaction than I did the first time I tried it, which of
Oh,
course,
nice, man. Yeah.
and it was like hooked. And then I did it all the way till 2020. 2020, I took 2 years off with the pandemic, and then
Oh,
I
yeah.
started again in 2022. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So it's
Right,
like a
right.
weird kind of, like doing it for a long period of time, but then break
Uh-huh.
again and then back at it again.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I was
I had
watching
no
back in like
idea that you had been doing it as long as you had. And I think one of the reasons for that is that I was hanging around at open mics or whatever, and it just took me a really long time it took me a yeah, like it took me a really long time to have, well, it wasn't really necessarily like the balls to do it so much as like the what am I looking for here? It was more like putting it together just to be able to get, okay, so this is how you apply for like an open mic Monday,
right.
or
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or
Put it
NTS
together
or what have you.
logistically. Yeah.
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And it yeah, it but there was also kind of like maybe this is like maybe and like not to denigrate the mics or anything, but like I mean maybe just hanging around with horseshit mics is fine for me. Like because it does protect you from embarrassing yourself. Like because you're kind of doing it like with open mics, you're sort of doing it in relative obscurity, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
there's
and then
freedom to
but
that
when
for
you get to
sure.
yeah, but then you get to the if you find yourself climbing up to the club level all of a sudden, yeah, there's a lot more room for like a lasting humiliation.
Right. See, I
Yeah.
did all of that like humiliating open mic work when I lived in Toronto. And I
Mm.
did that. I did that. I was doing like multiple shows a night, 7 nights a
Okay,
week,
right,
like
right.
grinding till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning at like random
Fucking hey, man.
fucking
All right.
bucket mics. Like I paid all my dues.
Yeah,
So I
right,
go,
sure.
and then I moved here, and you know what I mean? So then it's like I go out to mics like whenever I have some stuff that I want to work on, but I've been like
Got it.
grinding with this podcast so hard because I just really love like broadcasting and this podcasting environment. It's I can be
Uh-huh.
funny here too, and so
I'm
it's kind
starting
of
to think that
scratching
I
that
should have
itch.
asked you like for your personal background like before the because have your listeners heard all of this shit?
I'm sure
Like
if someone's like a deep cut
yeah, okay,
Johnny
all right.
Rogers fan,
Sorry
they
about that.
probably know.
Yeah,
That's okay.
okay. Right,
If they've been listening
right.
to the show, I've talked about it a few times.
Because I mean, like, fact of the matter is, you and I, like, we barely know one another,
Yeah, yeah, that's
right?
why I like
Like, I
doing
mean,
this show too, because we're
yeah, okay, all right.
hanging, there's
We're
no
hanging,
pressure. Because if we're both at
sure.
a show, we're not talking to each other at a show. We're focused on our
No.
material. I don't want to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
to
no, that's
anybody
totally
at a
it.
show.
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Like
right. Do
I
you
like
I mean,
hanging in the green
pre-show?
room.
Yeah.
I like hanging. I love a green room hang. Like at Yucks, I love hanging in that little green room and ever chat with
Uh-huh.
everybody. But if I'm nervous about my material, please don't talk to me.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
I'm
I
pacing
am,
like,
yeah, I'm right there with you. If I've got pen to
yeah,
forearm writing
yeah,
down like
yeah,
fucking,
yeah,
like
yeah.
keywords or whatever, yeah,
Going, please
this
don't
I'm gonna
forget.
be shitty
Yeah, yeah,
conversation. Yeah,
yeah.
right, right, right.
Yeah, so that's
I'm
why I like the podcast too, because it gives a
hey,
chance to, get to know people
sure.
better.
I really am impressed though by people who are about to hit the stage like win or lose, my God, like all or nothing, who are absolutely like willing to carry on a conversation with somebody like within like minutes of
Okay.
taking the stage kind of thing. Like the
I
fucking
can't. You can't
the
talk to me all
confidence of
day.
that.
You can't talk
It's
to me all
amazing.
day.
Right. Right.
All
Yeah.
day I'm a mess.
I guess it depends. Like, I mean, yeah, club wise, yeah,
I just want to
yeah.
do well. I just want to do well.
Sure,
You know what
sure.
I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like
No,
it's
I completely get you. It's just like, I guess, I find you get, even though the bombs are like, the bombs can be, well, are they worse? I don't know. But I find you've got a little bit more latitude at an open mic with the things that the audience will let you get away with. Like, I mean, this is unprofessional as hell, and like, I don't want to cast myself in a bad light, but I mean, I will so, like, I don't know, the last couple of weeks I've been going up on stage just totally with the phone. I mean, did all artifice out the window kind of thing, just
just
looking directly at. You know what? I like. Let's be honest with one
yeah.
another here, Jr. I've been doing that for fucking years, man. Like, yeah, it's
Hey
pathetic and it's
man.
awful and
Uh,
it looks really, really bad and I do like I imagine like other open micers like myself will look up at me and go, "You're wasting our fucking time up there." And but you cannot. Okay, all
no.
that to say, you can't get away with that shit at a club.
No,
So
you
it's like
can though.
all of a
Here's the
sudden,
thing. You
oh, you
can.
can.
So when I was at the comedy store in like 2019, I would go to the comedy store like I went to LA for like a week and I just would go to the comedy store every single night just to hang out, just to watch shows.
Dude.
Because
All right.
after a certain time, I
Yeah.
think after like 11:30, it was just free. You could just get in for free. You had to buy two drinks. Like two drink
Oh, okay.
minimum, but there's no ticket price. And I was like, cool.
Nice.
I saw Gerard Carmichael. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do.
HBO special. He brought this giant notebook
I
on
mean,
stage.
through the through podcast
Yeah,
reputation. I
yeah.
haven't actually seen the special, but yeah, go on,
Yeah.
go on.
He brought a giant notebook on stage and he like
Oh yeah.
set it down, like flipped it open. Like he's standing up there, like everyone's just watching him. It's midnight. He flips it
Uh,
open, sets it on the stage, and he's like, he's doing that thing where he's looking down on it and he's running his finger across the words of where he's gonna start.
yeah,
And he's
yeah,
like,
sure.
okay,
That's
how
pretty
are
fucking
you
funny.
guys doing? Good. You had a good day? Cool. What we gonna talk about? All right, we're gonna talk about construction. And you just would get into the bit. And I was sitting there as a comic going, that's fucking amazing.
It is.
I would never bring my notebook on stage. Like,
All right.
and now, but no, but now I'm going, maybe I should. I'm like,
Okay, yeah.
maybe I would be a better comic if I actually tried to perform it the way I wrote it, because
So like,
what I do is
yeah,
crazy. So what I do is I write out something that's like really like fine-tuned, like you need every word to make this, and then I just go on stage and free ball it and
oh
hope that
fuck, okay.
I hope I remember that punchline. And sometimes I'll get off stage and I go, ah, fuck, I missed the punchline. Because I just was like, I'd rather be in the moment of like, if I can't remember it, whatever I think of next has got to be the funniest thing.
Got it, okay.
That's kind
And
of
like
how
in
I
your
do it.
okay, and the fact that like I mean you've been doing well, I guess since 2011 really, but you had the hiatus there. But so like because you've been doing it since 2014 and because going into it in 2014 you were grinding your ass off multiple times a night at like like at very like in very unforgiving environments. You've come to a point where you trust yourself to be able to come up with
Yeah,
something
yeah,
on
yeah.
stage because you have in the past and you will do so in the future.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
follow you.
It's just
Yeah.
that confidence. But you know where I actually got it, which was like the true confidence of I know that I am. You'd think that like after all this time and good shows and people being like you're funny, that you would be like I am funny. But
Yeah,
most comics don't think that about themselves, and for good reason, because like you almost want to be. You want to have a high bar of comedy. So like my level of comedy of what I think is good is really high. So I'm always trying to reach that bar. So it's only going to keep
sure.
improving my comedy as I go. But when I started getting like a bit of a like I don't know, ego and confidence about it,
Uh-huh.
is like when my girlfriend and I first started dating, and she would be like, "You're so funny," but she was saying it in a way that like she was like literally like in tears at just like some random like off-color comment I made, or maybe I was like we're in the car and I'm like yelling about traffic or whatever, and I'm like, "Look at this fucking idiot here," and I'm going on and on roasting this guy. And like it looks like he climbs a ladder to get into bed, like just going up, and
Uh-huh.
and she's crying, laughing, and then I was like, oh, okay, like this is someone who like is like very hard to make laugh. Like I've seen watch comedy and like doesn't laugh, like unless it's very
Uh-huh.
funny. And so to
Yeah, yeah.
just be my like self, nothing's prepared, really kind of changed my mind about like, oh, maybe I am good in the moment. And just because I
Nice,
haven't
yeah.
done it a lot doesn't mean that the capability isn't there. And I really got to
Uh-huh.
put it to the test last night because as I finish my set, I finish my set, I see in the right side of the stage where the host usually comes up, there's all this movement. Like there's like a group of people that are standing and they're all like shifting seats and like moving tables. And I'm at this point like, give it up for your host. And everybody's clapping and going crazy. And I'm like, and I'm looking and he's not there. And I look and he's not, and I can't see him. And he's behind this group of people and he's trying to get up and he can't get up. So I just start like riffing I'm like, okay, I guess I'll host. And I just go to, and as soon as I went to the couple in the front row and said like, how'd you guys meet? The crowd just like lost it because it was so like a change of like, here's me delivering my best jokes to now here's just
Uh-huh.
me casually like, okay, what do you do for a living? Like
Sure.
hosting shit.
Right, right.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
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 It worked so well.
Fourth
And I was
wall
like,
broken or what have you.
yeah,
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Like I was
Nice,
kind of
dude.
like over it, like done with the bullshit of like, all right,
Totally. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
job's done. Now we can just fuck
Uh,
around. There was like a kid,
whatever. Yeah.
there was a kid wearing a John Deere sweater, and I was like, "Do you drive John Deere, or do you just like the brand?" And like that got a good laugh.
Sure.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
But it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's like, okay, like I needed sort of that level of validation from someone
Uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
believe it myself.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
know?
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's
Which I think makes for a better performance. Because if I'm less
oh my gosh,
nervous, it's
absolutely.
gonna be
Yeah.
better.
Totally, man.
Still
Yeah.
nervous, still
Yeah.
very nervous.
Right. Yeah. It reminds me of something I was talking with another comic about earlier on today. It was in something that I feel like that really resonates with me. Like if the crowd is digging you, then it's like you'll do the things that you need to do or that you should be doing at all times in order to ensure like a top shelf performance. Like you were saying, you know, at the end of your set you get loose or what have you, and you think to yourself, you should be doing that front to back. I mean, like that should
Yeah.
always be your attitude. Say, a Caesar McCool, for example, is doing that 100% of the time, despite the fact that the jokes are tight, tight, tight. But his way to get there, kind of thing, is always like it's a crowd interaction kind of thing into the next bit, and it all looks very loose and smooth, despite the fact that like I mean, if you broke it down, you really could be hitting that enter key, you know,
Yeah.
often as you were making what you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, totally.
But if the crowd dislikes you, you find yourself all of a sudden very rigid in doing the things that are kind of like I mean, you enter that feedback loop or what have you, where they just hate you more and more because you find yourself incapable of doing the
Yeah.
stages. Kind of,
Oh
yeah,
man. You know what show
yeah, yeah.
trained me for that is there was a show in Toronto at the Corner Comedy Club called The Danger Room with Dan Gyree.
Okay,
And
Justin Visser has told me about this. Yeah, yeah, right,
so I
right.
didn't know what the room was, and I just was like hanging out at the corner to try to get spots. And Dan's like,
Uh,
"Oh, you should come do my show on Sunday." And I was like, "Oh, cool!" Like he's inviting me to come do a show. And then I show
yeah,
up, and
yeah.
there's a big sign that says like "Hecklers encouraged." And I was like, "Oh
Mother,
no!"
mother.
So literally, like a comic would be like one joke out, and someone's like, "You're fat," and they're like, "Oh
Oh my
God."
gosh, what a fucking nightmare, man. All
And
right,
what's more
yeah.
nightmarish is the room sat maybe 20 people. Maybe.
Ah.
So it's so tight.
So it's
It's tight.
intense. It's
It's
fucking
tight.
yeah. It's
It's like you're
intimate.
being bullied. It's
Right.
like
Sure. Yeah.
there's a group of people right there. But like
Right. Now everybody
those
form a
things taught
circle
you.
around this asshole. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right,
Those
right.
things taught
Oh
you to
man.
have a good like comeback because that's not going to end. Like no matter how famous you get, there's going to be somebody in the crowd that was brought with them by a friend that likes you,
Sure.
and they're going to be like, "You're not funny."
Oh,
There's
they're
all
far funnier than you'll ever be. Yeah, which is
yeah,
the issue, and you know
yeah,
it's
yeah.
up to them to let it to convince everybody else in the crowd of this thing they know to be the truth. Yeah,
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
right,
But it's like
right.
even if you're doing your best, like you might not be someone's like cup of tea at the end of the day. Like
No,
it's
no,
and
no.
that you just have to be like okay with that.
No, but wouldn't it be nice though? You know,
To have everyone
like I mean,
like
it
you.
just yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I wonder if that's like a case of
Uh,
I don't know.
that's like communism,
We're
right?
really getting yeah. We're really getting kind of we're sitting in stand up here. That's okay. Just keep
Oh
talking about
yeah,
yeah.
that's
It's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, that's
All
this
right.
podcast.
But like I mean,
Whatever
so is it
person
like
I
what do
have
you?
on, we talk about that thing.
Yeah.
So I had a guy on named
Yeah.
Jay
Okay.
Valor who's a country musician. We talked about country music the whole time.
Okay. I was seeing a bit of a clip about that. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that appeared for me. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. What the fuck was I?
Sorry,
The
I'm
fuck was
terrible
I
at that.
driving at there? Yeah. Yeah. No. That's that's fine. I think like yeah yeah no just back to the issue of confidence there. I guess like I haven't found myself in a place where like I am confident in my ability to be able to like to be able to like turn a heckler for example or
Mm.
like turn a crowd that dislikes me. So I just feel like I feel like I've got the thing. It's kind of like it's not so much scripted. It's like, well, it is scripted. I mean, like walking into it, I know what I want to be doing for that
Yeah.
entire like whatever the period of time is that I'm up there. I mean, like the wheels really start to come off at 10 minutes. That was one of the reasons why I was kind of like, so Johnny feels more comfortable with a 10-minute set than a 6 minute set. Like he feels more comfortable if it's harder to do.
Dude, if I could do 20
But it's not
minutes,
harder to do for you on account of yeah.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
mean you have yeah,
I have so much to talk
you've been
about.
baptized by the fucking fire of the Toronto
Yeah,
comedy
yeah.
open mic scene or what have you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Right.
That garbage heap.
Right.
And I did open
Yeah.
mics in Oshawa too, because I lived there for a year. Before I
Mm.
moved to Toronto, I lived in Oshawa for a year and did open mics in Oshawa. And
Yeah.
those are shit show mics.
Well, Scott Yarwood did
Oh
does a
yeah, Crazy
show in
Jacks. Yeah, yeah.
you bet.
I
Have
headlined
you
that
been
show
there?
once. Yeah, I
Yeah,
headlined.
headline. Oh, how was that?
It was
Because
fun.
I've heard
It
a
was
couple of
fun. It
those
was
were
actually
really
pretty
awesome.
fun. Yeah, it was actually
Yeah,
pretty
all right,
fun. It was cool.
cool. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
You
just
know,
did
the
it the
one
one
that
time.
the okay, there were two that I went to and yeah, one opened pretty well, but it was just a fucking like uh the uh the crowd was rubbed the wrong way. See, like I mean, certain comics will go up there with a degree of kind of like bullshit that people aren't really understanding is just bullshit. Like I
Yeah.
mean, what they hear is direct confrontation, despite the fact that there's no way that this person could be serious about like the fucking like the hyperbole that they're bringing to the
Yeah, yeah.
stage, right? But still, I mean, like maybe they just want to get angry or something like that. So yeah, this one Crazy Jack show, like a particular contingent of the Crazy Jack audience, who I think hadn't actually paid to be in there to begin with.
Oh,
They were just
fun.
like asked to be in there to kind of flesh the place out or whatever.
Yeah.
Drunk took umbrage with what the guy was up to on stage. And so they're yelling from the back of the crowd as I take the stage. I'm like your penultimate fucking dipshit, before the headliner comes up, and I'm performing to like I mean like basically nothing. There was a woman who actually got up and started doing a pantomime of me in front of the stage, which is hilarious. In the moment, you're kind of like, oh
Uh,
shit, you know, sort of deal.
that's
Like
where
I'm
you
losing
can't
him,
take yourself too
get him back. But
seriously.
I don't know if I
Yeah,
ever really had
yeah.
him. And then yeah, so I get down off the stage, like tugging at the collar. Whoo, that was pretty rough. And like to like and I'm greeted by the headliner who already has her coat on, going, "We're leaving." Because there wasn't, she was like, there was clearly no longer a show for
Yeah,
her to
yeah.
close or to perform in, right? And meanwhile, one of the other comics is like standing in between a member of like that rowdy contingent and the guy they wanted to kick the shit out of. Like, oh my
Oh
god!
man.
But that was my one. Okay, that was one Crazy Jackson. The other one I just kind of like shit the bed, didn't do particularly well. But that one was like, oh, so this is the Oshawa experience. All right,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. When I
yeah,
performed there,
yeah.
there was like a crazy windstorm the day before, and there was out in front of it what looked to be like the bottom of a pontoon boat, like flipped upside down, just in front of the restaurant. And I was like,
Oh yeah,
what the fuck
yeah.
is this? And
Driving in the second time, there was like there we found ourselves at a red light, looking out the window, and there was just a full on fucking street fight. Big right beside us,
dude, I
and then
found
very well, green light, keep going to fucking Crazy Jacks, dude. Oh
I remember
boy,
I got on the
but yeah.
bus there. I got on the bus there once and I walked to the back and like some people talk about like finding money on the bus. Like I found a Percocet just on the seat.
Just curious, are you a police officer or?
No, no, no. No,
Oh,
so
okay, all right, yeah.
what happened, and for better or for worse, who knows? I'm sure my parents think for worse, but when I got that email about the
Uh-huh.
MTV host and the thing and the whatever, I'm
Uh-huh.
how old am I at this time? Probably like 21, maybe like 21.
Yeah.
So I really like am like dramatic about life, right? Like I'm like there's two paths in front of me. I can either go the path of this like police officer route and take this interview to be a correctional officer in Alberta at a new maximum penitentiary, maybe make like 80K, but have cum thrown at me and get screamed at by murderers all day.
Right. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I can
Or
or I can try to move to Toronto and do this comedy thing. And
okay.
I chose that one. So
I see. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So I just like completely abandoned what I spent 2 years in college for and just I went to
Uh-huh.
college. I went to college and then there was this thing that was like funniest person on campus. Submit a video and you'll win $1,000 and you'll get to open for Sugar Sammy at the theater. And I was like, oh,
Ooh.
that's fucking awesome. So I make a video and I'm like going door to door in my dorm and trying to get people to go on Facebook and like this video so that I can win this competition. I come in
Yeah.
second. Some other kid got like whatever, just more likes on his video than I did. But I was still like, okay, that was fun. The guy that was organizing the comedy show goes, "Have you ever done stand up?" And I was like, "No, but I've like always wanted to." He goes, "Oh, you should come to this like mic and do this mic." And I was like, "Okay, cool." Like didn't know whatever. I go to it used to be called the Thirsty Monk, and now it's called something else in Oshawa. I go into this mic, and the way it's set up is that the stage is facing a wall right in front, and the audience is down this way.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're
Yeah.
standing at a stage at the end, and there's like rails there, and you're kind of just looking down the bar and doing that. And they were like, before I go on, the organizer, same guy that asked me to have ever done stand up,
Yeah.
he goes, "Hey, the headliner couldn't make it, so everybody's gonna do more time. So just do as much time as you can."
Oh,
This is my first
okay.
time ever on stage.
Yeah. 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 No, I heard that part. Yeah. Fuck.
And I
All right.
had the book. I had my book of jokes, and I just on the stage. I had no idea. I've never done stand-up. And I just started going through all this shit that I had written. And I did like 10 minutes of
Oh,
just like
wow. All right.
talking. Not, I don't know if any of it was funny.
Okay.
At one point I started making fun of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and some old guy just started, he had like an oxygen tank. And he
Oh.
just started screaming Leaf stats at me as I was doing the bit. And I was like, it's just a joke, sir. Like all of that happened in 10 minutes. Yeah, yeah. But
That's
yeah, so
great.
I
Okay.
like yeah, so I started stand up in Oshawa. I forget where I was going with that. Well, with the police officer thing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
No, I was
I
just
went to
yeah.
college like to become a cop because I was like, okay, that's a good like safety net job where it's like I have a diploma in this thing where it's like you could, there's so much law enforcement. You could work in like crime scene investigations. You could work at the border. You could work at the airport. There's so many jobs and they're good government paying jobs like, you
So
know.
many places to have cum thrown at you. Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
places, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, when I heard
Yeah.
about that from another prison guard, I was like, fuck that. I don't
To
want to do
getting the
that shit.
cum thrown
Yeah,
at
yeah.
them.
He said that
Okay.
happened. He said that happens like all the time. And I was like, that's insane. I was like, I don't want to do that. They didn't tell me that
Right.
in college.
Yeah.
But it's like my point of I went to college to get this like thing that was going to be like a safety net, but then I ended up
Uh,
discovering stand up and like not discovering stand up, but discovering that you could just do stand up. I always thought
yeah.
stand-ups were like Robin Williams and like famous actors did stand-up. Like all I knew
Sure.
was like
Right.
Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy, Robin Williams, and like these
Uh-huh.
guys are famous actors. So it's like
Yeah.
I guess they just talk on stage sometimes, you know? Like
Uh-huh.
it didn't
Yeah.
click that it was like a thing you could just get up and do.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Right.
Right. Right. I remember like for me what it was um my wife got me a as a well, what was this like? It was either my 40th or 41st birthday present was she enrolled me in the Pierre Bro comedy class,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know?
Pierre
And then
headline last night.
after that, it was like, and there you go. Like, I mean, after the like the what the fucking like talent show tier, like
Yeah.
school pageant or whatever, then it was like, and you graduated. Fuck off, it was like it was a little while before I found a mic to go and hit. And like and then you get to the mics and you're of two minds. Like first you're so glad when that first bomb happens. Maybe it's not the first time you do it or the second, but definitely by the third, you're going to hit the bomb that you deserve,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're going to be really glad that you had like I don't know those 8 Pierre Bro classes kind of cushioning you before that bomb.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, it was sort of like in a really what supportive environment. You get to script out some bullshit, and then you go on stage, and by that third time, eat a bunch of shit. But yeah, the only reason I mention that is that like the second thing that you're thinking about after that third bomb happens is fuck. It's so easy to get on to an open like to
Yeah.
like I mean, it's so easy to get your name into like the lotto bucket, and if there aren't a whole lot of people on like who showed up for that, which is sometimes the case, like you're getting on stage, right?
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
can happen multiple times a week in Ottawa, you know. It's just yeah, you feel like a real idiot for not trying to do it sooner, just like understanding how easy it is to
Oh
do.
man, yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
kicking myself about. Like, was so when I started in 2011, it was the same thing. Like, I didn't know where to do stand up. I didn't know stand up comedians. Like, I met a couple of them that night, but like, that was it. Maybe I added them
Yeah.
on Facebook. But then in 2014, that was when I saw the circuit, like the actual. And I remember like even when I would come up to Toronto to do mics, because like I'm from Brockville, so I would like drive to Toronto to do like 3 open mics and then just come back. Like I was psychotic about it. I would like drive to
Wait. How
Montreal and
far
do
away? How far away is Brockville from
it's like
these two places?
4 hours.
Jesus. All right. You were
I,
driven.
I was
Okay.
I was hungry. I was like I want to do this, right? So it was
Oh,
like by
good
all
for you,
means
man.
necessary. And then when I finally moved there, it was like I didn't even really get to tap into what the circuit was until another comic was like, "Come with me, I'm gonna go hit another show." And that's where you get to learn like the rhythm of we go to this place at this time, put your name in, then go over here
Yeah.
across the street, put your name in there, and just bounce back and forth until you get on one stage. Then you go downtown and then you try to get on there, and it's like it's a you I never would have guessed in 2011. And maybe there wasn't even, in all fairness, maybe there wasn't even that many mics in 2011, like in
Oh, yeah.
Toronto. Because you hear some
Right.
like vet comics talk about like the lack of places to do comedy. It was like Yuck Yucks, and I don't even know if Absolute Comedy was around then. What were they?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
like it
Sure.
was Yuck Yucks. That was where you went, and that
Uh-huh.
was
Yeah.
it. So
Right.
it's like there
Right.
probably was like a cafe here and there or whatever, and like
Uh,
those
well, do you
places.
think like the I don't know, you look at like this is, like absolute fiction, but you look at like the fucking marvelous Miss Maisel, I think, or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And like and what's her face? Like Alex Borstein, maybe I'm
yeah,
mispronouncing that name, but like is operating like an underground bar that hosts an open mic. And you look
yeah,
at
which would
that
be
and you think
badass.
that's sure. And
Yeah.
you look at that and you think to yourself, if there's any like if there's any basis in fact here, we're talking about something that happened like Lenny Bruce era, which is what, late 50s, I guess.
Yeah, I
Is
think
am I right
so.
about that?
I
Okay,
my
call it around like around 60,
yeah,
maybe early 60s.
sure.
So early 60s, you've got like the existence of an open mic. And you just sort of think like, well, that's to serve like I don't know, like one open mic per like I don't know how many people you've got like living in the surrounding area,
Yeah.
but to foster to the hunger that they all have for this kind of thing, right? And
Yeah.
you think to yourself like there must have been some kind of a need for that in Ottawa. Maybe, like, do you think it's possible
Yeah,
that
yeah,
there
yeah.
could have been an open? You know what?
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah, yeah.
maybe not. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
no, but Jay Leno even has said before that like when he wanted to start doing comedy, he there was nowhere to do it.
Oh
Comedy
shit. Oh, okay. Then
there was no
okay.
comedy club that even existed, and he was like he would go into strip clubs and pay the owner. He said, "I'll give you like $100 if you let me get up on
Uh-huh.
stage and tell some jokes, and if it's not funny, you get to keep the money, and if it is funny, you give it back to me." And the
Oh
guy was like,
shit.
"Yeah,
All right,
sure, get up there." And so
man.
he would go into strip clubs and he would like do in between performers, he would like go up and like host basically and like do
Dude.
jokes and like try them out on the crowd and like smart. Like he was just resourceful, right? Like he just did with what he could.
I imagine like now that like I mean, if you asked Jay Leno back then, you might have not have gotten as honest of an answer. But like now that he's like Jay Leno, like and he talks, he looks back on those days. Was he tanking? Was he eating shit while people were? Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Just a sec. All right. Was he? Do you figure like he was tanking, getting up and doing horseshit jokes in between fucking exotic dancers to be?
I
Because
think
that's a
everybody's just
completely
yeah,
different. Like,
yeah, yeah. I think
what do you
everybody's
think
there
he
just
was?
having a
Or
good time. Yeah.
oh,
Maybe
okay, all right.
you might okay, you probably he probably hit some audiences where they're just there having a good time. It's Friday night,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Oh, cool. This guy's gonna be a clown for us for 5 minutes and then we're gonna get to see titties again or whatever.
It's
But
interesting though. Like, I
yeah.
don't know about like because I don't I don't think I've ever looked at a strip club with this kind of attitude. But you imagine like some men are going in there and like humor and fun really isn't on the table. Like it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
it's
It's a
an
creepy endeavor for
ugly,
some. Yeah.
thirsty kind of like kind of a trip. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
Jay like like gets on stage
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
yuck 'em ups or whatever, and oh my gosh, you'd be furious.
Yeah,
You'd
yeah.
think like I maybe not. I don't know. And like and you know what? That's probably not everybody. Like yeah, like I mean, you do have groups of people going in there for whom it is a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
fun night
Yeah.
out. It's a
Okay. All right.
bachelor
All right. Well,
party
then I
or,
guess it does make sense. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And maybe it wasn't as you have to also think too back then, like, I think there's more like gooners now because of like porn addiction, because porn is so
Oh.
readily accessible. But back then, you wanted to be this like kind of put together gentleman, you know? It was a different type of human almost during that time period of like these are respectable men and like yeah they're at the strip club but they're they're just enjoying these women's bodies like it's there's nothing
Uh-huh.
like
That's an
I
interesting
would
point you
there was
make
a lot
there.
of
All right.
there was a lot of shame I think involved in a very religious culture of the time too because
Yeah.
they're new
Okay. Good point.
immigrants to America, so it's like there's a lot of shame, so I don't think that even then it would have. I think he probably would have gotten some like decent laughs because they're just looking at this is like this is all entertainment to us,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. 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 All right, again, these are some very good points that you make. Okay, so it could have been a successful endeavor for the guy. All right.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
and
don't know
then
why I was
comedy clubs
looking at
started
it so
popping up,
ugly.
so
It's just like it's just like I picture even doing this in like a even doing this in a bar where there aren't
yeah.
exotic dancers. If you ambush people
Yeah.
like that, I mean, like I don't know how good you'd have to be. You know,
You
like I mean,
can't. Those shows can't
right
work.
now, like there, without naming any names or whatever, like there are a couple of shows where that like
I hate it
currently
so
in
much.
circulation where that does happen, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, no, 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 we're like I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna fucking like it. I'm gonna eat shit. I'm gonna tank, and that's just part of it. Like that's the next 6 minutes of my life, you know.
You shouldn't
And
have
then,
to.
but then you fucking like, and then you put that, you take that kind of
Yeah.
a feeling and you put it in the strip club and fucking spin it. It's unthinkable to me. But
I
okay,
get the thought process on
you
it.
make a
Yeah, yeah.
lot of very good points here, and I can see it in the historical context
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that
Now
time.
today you couldn't
Makes
do that.
sense.
Today
God
you would have
damn it,
to
dude.
advertise that it's a comedy show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And like
sure.
this is what
Right.
I hate about
Fuck.
these ambush shows is like you don't have to do this. People want to see comedy shows.
No, no,
You
no, no,
just
that's
have to
true.
advertise that it's a comedy show. And then the
Dude,
people that
I'm not
want to
quite
see it will come.
like I still haven't. The thing that you were doing where you were hitting multiple, mics a
Yeah.
night or what have you. I like I still I had I'm so glad that there are these mics are out there because I like I fucking like I need them. I need to
Yeah.
go out to these things because that's what I'm doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm super glad that they're there. But I'm picking up what you're laying down too. Like, why the fuck are you
Why-
doing this
We're
here
entertainers. We
on
could
this
be
stuff?
making
Yeah.
money.
God damn it. Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
just found
yeah,
that like I moved here. I saw this. I was out like having a drink at this Mexican restaurant, and I was like, this would be a good spot to do a show. And then I just said to the owner, "Hey, can I do a comedy show here?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And he's like, "Look, we have a stage even." I was like, "Oh, cool. That's even better.
yeah.
Great." Then I set up
Nice,
this
man.
show. I fucking advertised it on Eventbrite, and I sold out because it's
Wow.
like people in that area wanted entertainment and there was nothing happening. It's not that
Uh-huh.
hard to like find an area that has like houses nearby. Like the Glebe is ripe for a comedy show. Like uh
Yeah.
like there are a couple spots in there, but you need to run like a good like even the one I did at Margarita like needed so much work. Like I could pack it out, but then sometimes it wasn't the best audience members. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
Yeah, I do know. I know
yeah,
exactly what
yeah.
you
Or
mean.
maybe
Yeah.
like the mic
Thinking of
setup
you,
wasn't the
Crazy
greatest
Jacks.
or
Yeah,
like
right.
yeah, yeah. Like there was
Okay.
always something that was like just a little bit off. And in part that's probably because that's like one person running a whole thing is not a good idea. But there's like
Is that
Irene's
right?
Pub. I don't think one person should run a comedy show themselves. I did it and it
Okay.
sucks. It sucks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, all right. But anyway, you were saying.
You can't
Yeah.
host, take the tickets, set up the seats, set up the lighting, set up the stage and then make sure the comics are taken care of
I'm
by
starting to feel
yourself.
the gravity of it. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
need
right,
that's
right.
like a three-person
Pressure,
job.
man.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
Somebody the host, that's all they're thinking about. Somebody to watch the door, that's all they're thinking about. And then another person making sure that like everybody's happy. You
Yeah.
know? Like
Yeah, okay, all
that to
right.
me, like I think to run a successful show, you need three people that are working together in tandem and they can
Huh.
pick up the slack from the other person, and then you could run a really tight show.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I do, it's yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that because like now I'm thinking about all of the like any one of the successful open mics in Ottawa or like any of the yeah, like any bar show that I've been to. And yeah, any one that's not dysfunctional does have at least two people.
yeah.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
very
And
least, you
and
need
like
two
you
people.
said, sometimes three. Sure. Yeah, right, right,
Three
right.
would be ideal.
Uh-huh.
Two is
Yeah.
like bare minimum.
Okay.
If you're
Yeah.
running an open mic, you need two people because chances are you're not selling tickets. So it's like it's whatever, you know. You need one person that's making sure the audience that's there is having a good time, and another person that's making sure the comics are okay.
Did you mentioned sort of double back there. You mentioned Irene's.
Oh, I was
Irene's
saying
was right for it. Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
would say so. Like I don't know. I've never been in there, but I've walked by and I was like, this looks like it's literally right beside where Margarita was. So same
Okay.
demographic that lives in the area that
Yeah,
would
right.
want to they want to see a comedy show. It has
Right,
a
yeah.
stage that has lighting. It's set up for like music performances. Those are the best places that we could go to like book a show. Book a comedy
Yeah.
show at somewhere that's set up for like musical performances. Because
Because you
chances
figure
are,
it's a plug and play kind of thing,
yeah,
like and
yeah,
here you
best
go.
case
Yeah.
scenario, best case. You just tell them like
Uh-huh.
how much do you need to make, you know, or you do it to you take it on a Tuesday night and then do it like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, I have been in Irene's a couple of times and totally set up for live music, right? Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. I've
Yeah.
been thinking
Yeah.
about doing a show there, but if
Oh, is that right?
somebody else wants to beat me to it, then go
Yeah,
for
yeah, sure.
it.
And you that used to be a thing or that still is a thing that you're doing, producing
No, the
shows? Yeah.
restaurant
Oh, okay.
closed down. So I was like, oh
Oh,
shit.
fuck. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
My comedy show couldn't save them from going under.
Right,
It's
right.
an
Okay.
Indian restaurant now, so
So okay, so that was that done with.
yeah.
But you do every now and then entertain the idea of maybe finding a new spot, start it up
Yeah, because
again.
I
Okay.
like the idea of having a spot where I can like the cool thing about Margarita was I'm giving myself the time. It's like
Oh
it's
yeah.
so hard to like just get someone to trust you to let you do, you know, 20 minutes or let you do 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And so to
Yeah.
give yourself that time is the best. Like I'm gonna host because I want to work on getting better at hosting. So I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
host every show, you know? And
Uh-huh.
that and like you look at someone like a Tavis Mapleston, he's hosting
Yeah.
that show every Tuesday.
Uh-huh.
That's his
Sure,
routine.
man.
and it
Yep.
fucking shows, man. Like I saw him like feature at Yucks, like do one of the pro-am like, last spots and
Yeah.
killed. And it was only like a 10-minute set, I think, but like half or if not more was just him talking to the crowd. And it was
Yeah.
great. It was so great and
Yeah.
in the moment and and very much him. And then he did a couple jokes that killed and then done. And I was just like,
Right.
that's the product of like this repetition, and like just it
Uh-huh.
comes off so easy, so smooth.
Well, yeah, I guess there's the raw talent, and then there's the fucking, yeah, like chip in his teeth,
Yeah,
chip in
of
his
course.
teeth,
Yeah, yeah.
like multiple times a week kind of thing, and that's what produces a Tavis Mapleton. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
There's one question that I always, because we're getting close to wrap up time. There's one question that I
Oh
always ask all of my
shit.
I
Yeah.
keep it tight at an hour, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
There's one question I always ask all my guests. I want you to think of yourself at 15 years old.
Uh,
Think of where you were at that time, who you were, and the phone rings and it's you now on the other end, and you could give your younger self a piece of advice based on what you know now. It's not going to change your life whatsoever. The decisions have been put forth. Your life is already set in motion. But you can give your younger 15-year-old self a piece of advice in this bizarro multiverse. What do you say?
okay. Uh, well, I was thinking. I mean, is there an opportunity for like a fast joke on this? Like, I
Oh
asked
yeah,
myself,
yeah.
what are you wearing? No, I mean like I was thinking like I yeah, but like probably like all of the things, everything that you give a shit about right now, none of that matters. Like, don't take any of that seriously. I'm 15. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No. Like, I mean, no decision that you're going to make is going to have any impact on my life as the 46-year-old until you hit like your mid 20s. That's when you kind of have to start getting your shit together. But like, I mean, up until that point, you can not only can you coast, but you don't have to worry about any of the things that you care about right now. Like, none of this matters. Like, you've your your life and your existence is very stupid right now, and but that's okay. Like, that's okay. Enjoy
Yeah.
it, and don't be afraid to try. Like, like, don't let worry keep you from doing things, because none of it, like, ultimately none of it ends up mattering. But maybe take it easy with the things that this hadn't happened yet when I was 15, but yeah, like, I don't know, maybe this was as a result of like worry or whatever, had me
Hmm.
making some fucking bad decisions. But like, maybe don't do things that land you in the drunk tank. Like, maybe don't do, like, that does kind
Yeah,
of, well, it's
yeah,
gonna have an
yeah.
effect on the rest of the month. Like, so maybe don't make those
Yeah, yeah.
kinds of decisions. But the things that you're worried about right now, stupid. Don't worry about any of it. Yeah, and I think, like, and that's the end. That's the end of the conversation. I might also ask, like, like I might also ask myself to look at myself in the mirror and tell me, like, was I ever handsome? Like, because I feel like I've gotten to a point in my life where I look at myself in the mirror and I think, like, there's no way I always looked like this. Like, I mean, I had to have been at least somewhat attractive at
Yeah,
some
yeah,
point
yeah.
in my life,
Yeah.
right? So I'd also do that. Like, my advice to my
Yeah.
younger
What
self
are
would be
you
like,
wearing
look at
and
his
am
face.
I
Look,
handsome?
what are you wearing? And look at yourself. Yeah, that's what I would. Yeah. So it would be those three things. Like, yeah, like
Nice.
the joke thing, that
Yeah.
don't worry about any of this. And can you let me know, was there ever hope?
And
Was
then you
there
just
ever,
sigh on the other end. Oh,
yeah.
thank
And
God.
and like, and if the guy, yeah, if the guy looks at it, yeah, if like a
Yeah.
15-year-old me looks at himself in the mirror and, like, and yeah, like, it can, like, with total objectivity say, no, we always, yeah, then yeah, like, and I mean, like, maybe that's good news. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, so it was, yeah, sure,
Oh, it was
fuck
worth
from the
it.
get-go, yeah, number 13 on my back, that's good, yeah, okay, all
Oh
right, so
shit.
yeah, no, to wrap it all up or whatever, I think that's well,
I'm
What's that?
sharing
Sorry.
your social
Oh, I
media
see.
for
Okay.
people
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Right.
check out.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my social media. Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Follow
I
follow
got
Jake
nine.
at
No, I
Chalkboard
got
Fat
nine
Ass.
sweet pictures in there. I got nine sweet pictures. I created. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't do anything on IG, and I really should do. Yeah.
Why is your name Chalkboard Fat Ass on?
I don't know. I mean, like, if I thought that I could ask for spots that way on Facebook, like
Yeah.
responding to show posts, I would. I just I do enjoy the anonymity that comes with the nice alias that's that far away from Jake Daly. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not
But I
searchable.
guess it is. It's also kind of like I mean, it was a stupid idea, but then like on account of like somebody does, it's happened a couple of times. Like somebody has asked what my Instagram handle is, and it's chalkboard fat ass, and just why like it's stupid. It's not a good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. You're like, oh,
Oh,
I
yeah, like
don't.
in hindsight, maybe it isn't such a great
You're
idea,
gonna be
Josh.
doing
But
like
yeah,
some major interview, and they're gonna be like, and just you're on like Canada's Got Talent, and they're like, if you'd like to promote your
chalkboard fat
Instagram,
ass. Yeah.
it's a
Yeah,
lower third.
they let you say fat ass. So I did.
Well, here the thing is, Instagram let me say fat ass, so I just
Fat
went with
ass.
it.
So I mean, like, who am
I
I to say
couldn't.
no,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
not take the bait.
sure. But yeah, so that's the fucking yeah,
No, I
and
love that advice though.
yeah, all right. But like, you've probably answered that question yourself. But do you have it easily like an easily kind of like like all encompassing sort of answer that you give to yourself, or like advice
Uh
that you give to yourself?
yeah, I think it's like along the part of me wants to just be like no because I like
Oh,
the way
okay.
everything's turned out. But
Oh,
then the other
nice.
half of me is like if I were to say anything, it would be along those lines too. Like the stuff that you're worrying about right now, it doesn't matter. Like
Not for
you really
years.
make
It doesn't
you
matter.
you really
Yeah.
make a big deal out of nothing for a very long time, and none of it matters.
Your friends are stupid, and they
Yeah.
aren't the friends that you are going to have in
Yes.
like in 10 years from now. So who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
hang
don't
out
need
with them or
everybody to like you.
whatever, but like ultimately, yeah, like all of the cells in your body, including I mean the social ones or whatever, are going to be completely replaced by something new within a decade. You're
Yeah.
going to be an entirely new human being. Yeah, yeah,
Literally. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
craziest thing in the world. That you're
yeah.
physically not the same human being. That thing
Right, right.
trips me
But
up
like, I
every
mean,
time.
you look at like everything except like I don't know, except perhaps for like certain things that you can't shake. Like, for example, I don't know, like the context of family. But yeah, like I mean, the social environs are going to completely change
Hmm.
as well, right? Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Even just
So
job to job.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right,
Well, man, this
right.
was fun hanging and chatting. You said you're a
And I
terrible
really got to
podcast
talk to
guest, and
you. I
this is
really got
great.
to fucking talk to you more about this China robbery thing, man.
Hey,
That's really fascinating.
I would love to workshop that with you because if you have a
It's
fucking
neat.
ending, that'll drive me. I'll love that. I'm
Yeah,
trying to put
right, right.
together
Oh,
like I'm
okay.
trying to like slowly put together like an hour of material. So that's a huge. If I could get like a 10-minute story into the hour, that's like huge. That puts me so much further
Uh,
ahead than I am now.
it's just so crazy. Well, actually, it's not really all that crazy that after well, what are we talking about? 10, 11 years that like you don't feel ready to tackle that yet, you
No.
know? Like, I guess for certain comedians, like for something like that, it would take them like 15, 20. Yeah.
It's just not
Anyway,
the ending just isn't clear. And
I see.
I've tried stuff and it just is like it's just not there. Like I
Uh-huh.
can end it if I want to, but it's not as funny as I want it to be.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So it's one of those things.
Right.
Yeah, I think I talked
Right.
about it on I think I actually set out the whole story when I was on what's it called, that podcast, Ruckus. The Ruckus comedy
Oh
podcast a
shit.
year
Okay.
ago. I was
All
on
right.
Ruckus.
You were on the fucking yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all
I
right.
went
You
on
were
the
on the
show.
Ruckus show.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's
A-
cool.
And yeah, I think I did this story. And like partway through, even Liam is like, too long. And I was like, it is a
Fuck
long
you,
story.
man.
It
Oh
is
my
it
gosh.
is
All
a
right.
long story. No, but like
Gosh, you got
Pete
the
was yelling
fucking
at him.
vaudeville cane from Liam.
Yeah,
Damn. But then
yeah.
again, I mean, like, I guess that makes sense on account of, yeah, like, I mean, he's got a certain threshold for like
Yeah,
what's
for
gonna fly
sure.
on his show. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But like it's still
Yeah.
made for like a very funny like on the show. It's a funny like story to tell, but on stage it's different, right? You got to make sure you're hitting your beats.
Sure, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
Right.
yeah, we'll chill. I'll probably see you at
No, okay.
the O Craps or whatever.
Oh
March
yeah, yeah.
Madness. Yeah, yeah, that's probably when I'll see you guys.
Yeah. That's I think what is that, May 15th?
Did
Am I
they
right
pick a
about that?
date? Because they moved it.
Shit. Then I don't
Uh,
know.
it might be
I
May
think
15th,
it's
might be the new date. I don't know.
no. I
I'm
think
sure there'll be an
there's
announcement.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, we'll see it. We'll see it. Or just yeah, just go to the Ocrats page or whatever.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah.
Have a good
All
rest of your
right.
night.
Thanks a lot for having me on.
Yeah, of course. It was fun hanging.
All
Peace.
right.